welcome to another Ordo Imperialis instructional video. I'm your host, Praetorian Guardsman Berwolf Quinn. Today we'll be talking about our premier close air support platform, the Malice gunship. Able to operate in both armored and unarmored variants, this aircraft is made for one purpose: heavy-duty close air support. Before flight, ensure that the sim that you're fighting at allows for gunships to operate, as many sims disallow aircraft to engage on ground forces. To begin, open inventory and simply wear the Malice gunship HUD and Malice gunship details. Once attached, you may spawn the respective type of Malice for use. /1 armor will spawn the 100 hit point variant. This is the most armor the Malice gunship carries and is the one most commonly used. However, if the sim you're fighting on has a hit point restriction on gunships, you can also spawn the lesser armored variants. Those variants being 50 hit points and 75 hit points, and can be spawned by simply typing in /1 armor 50 and /1 armor 75 respectively. To spawn the completely unarmored variant, its command is /1 res. This type of craft will fly much smoother than the armored versions in high lag, and it's suggested that it is this version that is used when bullet and object lockups are becoming frequent in large engagements. However, the fact that you have a much higher profile and slower speed of an ordinary Nemesis fighter means you're going to die lots. Because the Malice uses Ordo's advanced anti-grav technology, the Malice fly is very similar to a helicopter. To pilot the Malice, simply use the WASD keys to move forward, backwards, and side to side. Then using the E and C keys to climb or descend, while the mouse controls the pitch and yaw of the craft. You'll find that due to the anti-grav tech, the Malice tends to slip, resisting immediate changes to direction. Therefore, like all Aster aircraft, it's important that you practice flying it before your first engagement, and often to stay proficient. Its main armament consists of twin 25mm cannons with a cyclic rate of fire of 300 rounds per minute and a blast radius of 2.5 meters per impact. In its maxed, unlocked configuration, each cannon will hold 10 rounds, for a combined total of 20 rounds, and expend before the cannons shut down completely for an auto-reloading process. This process takes approximately 3 seconds to complete, and then the system is ready to go again, and will alert you with an auto beep when ready. The cannons are fully automatic, but their slow rate of fire allows them for semi-auto fire. Simply left-click quickly once to fire it in semi-auto, or press and hold left-click to allow for the cannons to fire in full auto. The secondary armament is semi-automatic, wing-mounted dumbfire rockets. To swap out to this armament, you must first use the command /1 toggle. Once activated, you'll see the respectable armament highlighted in green on your HUD. With this, simply left-click to fire the rockets. Like the cannons, they come in various unlockable loadout levels, with the max amount being 12 rockets. The reload timer for the rockets is 15 seconds, and it is automatic as well, sharing the cannon's audible chime to let the pilot know they're reloading. As with all current Ordo technology, these rockets are dumbfire only, as seeking munitions are for the weak and feeble. This requires you to aim correctly by leading the targets in order to put steel on steel. These rockets come in two main modes: AT or anti-tank rounds, or high explosive HE rounds. AT rockets are dual-purpose, or HEDP rounds, that have a 5-meter blast radius that affect both armored and exposed infantry equally. HE rockets are the amphi-infantry only variant that have a larger 10-meter blast radius. Simply use /1 rocket to swap out between the two rocket types. Additionally, there are two types of AT rockets. The standard AT rocket are avatar damaging rounds, and are identical to the HEDP rounds off the Virudum rocket launcher. These rockets attack the avatar itself and are the go-to round when you want to destroy both infantry and tanks. The second option for your AT rockets is an ODR round, or object damaging round. By typing in /1 ODR, you'll swap out your AT rockets for a special type that will do massive damage to static objects, such as doors, barriers, warp gates, or entrenched turrets. However, these rockets may not be ideal when engaging standard armored targets, and in many cases ODR rounds may not do any damage at all to them, other than the static, single-digit hit from the rocket itself. Remember, always make sure your rockets are set to the standard HEDP configuration after engaging objects. Due to the nature of its weapons, the Malice is best suited for its role as close air support. However, it's not an omnipotent killing machine. It's very vulnerable to hostile interceptors and jetpackers. Therefore, it's important to have air superiority before engaging hostile forces. Defensively, the Malice is equipped with a chaff system that may divert seeking munitions. These are on a 1-minute cooldown timer, and in practice, its usefulness is debatable. Ergo, when hostile forces are employing this type of technology, your best defense is to keep moving and maintain a lower altitude. However, in all cases of griefing, if it is confirmed that seeking munitions are being used on your vehicle, there isn't much you can do. As with almost all Ordo vehicles, the Malice does not have any throttled armor, so simply redeploy and drive on, knowing you've just been handed an automatic victory by the hostile forces. So, as we've seen today, the Malice gunship is a powerful tool when used correctly. It is not a tool to be used singly, but rather as a component in a joint operation. This concludes this training video on the Malice gunship. Further questions can be answered by your Astra instructor.